everybody, my name is Ganit Kriel. Me and my husband Brian started Thumos Health Center about 13 years ago. Our focus is acupuncture and holistic medicine. We have been helping couples for the past 13 years become pregnant and have healthy children. I'm going to take you soon into the kitchen to give you an idea for 3 simple recipes that should not take more than 20 to 30 minutes. And the idea is always to incorporate healthy lifestyle in order to get pregnant and just make it easy. So the first recipe we're going to make today has been my all-time favorite salad, and so does my kids. It has warm quinoa that I'm going to show you how to prepare right now, spinach, purple onion, sun-dried tomatoes, pine nuts, and asparagus. And the dressing is very simple. It's basically olive oil, some vinaigrette, and salt and pepper. The first thing you want to start with is the quinoa because it does take about 20 minutes. I prepared a cup of quinoa. You can use a white quinoa alone, red quinoa, the mixed quinoa, whichever. I like to mix them together, and you pour it into a medium-sized pan, and then you add a little bit of, I like to use some grapeseed oil to saute it, and you're gonna let it sit in it for about a minute or two till it's slightly roasted. Just that way they don't stick to each other. After you do that, you add, I like to use boiled water just because it cuts down the time of the cooking. And for every cup of quinoa that you use, you will use 2 cups of boiled water. So 1 and 2. The flavors, if you are completely vegetarian and don't like chicken flavor, you just can add salt to it when it's warm. You can add some chicken flavor, squeeze it all in there. Give it a little mix and we'll cover it up. You will see that when it starts boiling, right now it's on high flame. Once it starts boiling, you can lower it to the lowest flame and just let it cook until all the water is gone. You can, put a fork in and see if there's still a little bit of fluids on the bottom. If there still are, you leave it a little bit longer until it just starts to stick to the bottom, and then just move it around with a fork and the quinoa is ready. So right after we start making the quinoa, the second step would be to grill the asparagus. I put a little bit of olive oil in a small pan, and then I add the asparagus to the pan. So we finished making the quinoa. Quinoa is done and it's nice and warm. We finished grilling the asparagus. It really only took a couple of minutes. We're gonna add the purple onions, the sun-dried tomatoes, pine nuts, asparagus, a few nice scoops of quinoa. For the dressing, I love using olive oil. I pretty much use it for all our salads. The next one is the vinaigrette. You can use balsamic vinaigrette, you can use flavored vinaigrette, and some salt. Mix it all together. Nice colors. It's all done. So the second recipe we're going to make today is turkey soup. It has ground turkey. You can choose white or dark meat, depends what you prefer. Kale, leek, anise, carrots, 1 can of diced tomatoes, and chicken broth, and a mixture of spices that we're going to use, and I can show you. So now that we cut all the ingredients, and you can see them right here, I'm going to start by sauteing the leek and the anise because they're a little bit harder. I might need a little bit more grapeseed oil, which is usually what I use when I cook. That will take, about 3 to 4 minutes until they become a little bit more golden brown, especially the leeks. So after we saute the anise and the leek, we add the carrots. Then we add the diced tomatoes. You can add fresh or canned. Then I usually like to use boiled water. It just makes the process a lot faster. The next step would be to put in the ground turkey. Break them down to small pieces. This size pot, I should say, we had about 1.5 pounds of ground turkey. I'm gonna let the turkey cook just for a few more minutes until it's get lighter in color. The last phase is adding the kale because it just simply doesn't need much cooking, which is about 10 minutes. You'll be surprised how much kale you can put in here just because it simply shrinks down. So you probably cook the vegetables 20 minutes, then add the kale for the remaining 15 minutes. It's all done. Super fast. So So for our third and last recipe, we're going to make a dish that is extremely simple to make. You can eat it hot or cold or take it on the go. It has 1 can of cooked garbanzo beans, a whole batch of kale or chard, tomato paste or diced tomatoes, garlic, and olive oil. Add the chard to the pan that already had olive oil and garlic. You can put quite a lot because the chard really shrinks down when you cook it. So that's what it looked so big before. And then now we're gonna add the garbanzo beans and the tomato paste. I usually add a whole cup of boiled water and mix it and basically turn it into a tomato sauce rather than tomato paste, just because it cooks a little bit easier and better once it's in the dish. There are enough liquid, so there's no need to add water or anything. Mix it nicely. Add a little bit of salt. Not too much because usually the tomato paste already has some salt in it. That's it. That's simple. 5 ingredients. You can eat hot, cold, or on the go. So this is basically 3 different recipes that were not taking longer than 20 to 30 minutes to make. It's a small example of other recipes that we usually have in our practice. It is all about eating the right foods at the right time, keeping them balanced, having as many vegetables as we can incorporate into our meals, and basically help you achieve your health goals, your fertility goals, and help you get into the right path in a simple, healthy way. For more information, you can visit us at thumoshealthcenter.com. You just got a little bit of an idea, and now my kids are hungry. We're gonna go eat, and your time to cook.